One of your rivals in the pool is India.
Yep.
So how well prepared you are? What is your anticipation of that match?
Very tough match. I'm fortunate enough to be into the last two Junior World Cups. We've been with India in every pool. So for me personally, it'll be the third time I'm playing India at a Junior World Cup. First time not in India, which is a nice change. You know, them and the Spanish, I think, are in the pool probably the top two teams. You know, what India brings is probably a bit more of a physical element. I think they're more physical. They're faster. There's a bit more experience, as the Spanish coach mentioned. You know, that's a really young Spanish team, and they've had a lot of turnover, and they've lost some really crucial players from the Euros last year. So it'll be tough. We're going to have to be really, really good to be able to compete, and we're going to try our best. But say the nice thing with playing India is a lot of our players have an Indian heritage. So for them to have the experience of playing India, where their families have come from, is always something we love to do. You know, and in Lucknow in 2016 we actually played the opening game. So we had the opening ceremony, we played India. Amazing experience for the athletes, but you know, we're still a little bit behind them in terms of where our program is.
But these players with the Indian heritage, I mean, they're not from the top clubs or played high-level hockey in India before.
Some of the parents. So it's more the parents that moved to Vancouver or moved to Canada. Some of the families that come from very established hockey backgrounds. Some of the athletes actually go back to India, so they do go back into the clubs. You know, when they can, they train. Like in Canada, the domestic leagues are not as strong as they are around the world. So in Vancouver, we have a men's league which is relatively competitive. We have a lot of international players from all around the world. But from a cultural point of view, it's always good to go to your home. You know, the kids going back to India, they live hockey, breathe hockey, and then we hope they bring that experience back with us.
But most of the guys are Canadian born.
Yeah, at the moment they're all Canadian born, but a lot of parents have come from India.
That's right, yeah.
So you know, the first generation Canadians.
I was talking to John and all those guys.
But there's a lot of family. A lot of them go back for the weddings as well.
That's
so
right.
you know, there's a very close connection. One of our home fields in Vancouver is in Surrey, which is a very big Indian community. And the community really supports us too. So you know, when we play India, we want to compete and show that we want to be match and play well against them, and make sure we be proud of them.
Okay, all the best for the next matches.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully, Canada can do well.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Speed. Thought in the first quarter, much better in the second half, but just we gave up too many easy goals.
But do you think the weather was hot and humid for Canadians too much?
Very hot and humid, but to be honest, the rain in the warm up probably caused more. There was more distraction. You know, I joked yesterday in training. I said it's going to rain tomorrow, and they were like, "It's never going to rain." So that was really difficult. I think mentally that was a tough one for us. I'd say with the inexperience in the group, you know, it's really easy to get distracted. And then I think that maybe that led to us starting slow. You know, we definitely weren't good enough in the first quarter. So you know, between the nerves, between the weather, you know, it actually wasn't too hot, which was great. You know, and that was okay. We were comfortable with that.
Did the weather, the rain, disrupted your momentum today?
No. I mean, it's easy to make that excuse.
Yes.
To be honest, there were too many technical errors. You know, we turned the ball over. I spoke to the team already, and we kind of said there was a lot of goals where we kind of gifted them possession.
That's right.
You know, and for us, if we're going to be better and be able to compete against really top teams like Spanish, then we have to make sure that they beat us, okay, as opposed to us beating ourselves. You know, and I thought there was times when we just gave them the ball possession and then we kind of got caught. So, you know, Korea, really tough team as well. Okay, if we can limit the errors, okay, and just obviously not have the distraction of the thing, then I think we'll be in a better position.
Pan American game, the Pan American Championship, that was basically a wake-up call for you, I think. I mean, your matches against Argentina, against Chile, and you did some matches you played pretty well. I think, except for the final.
Yeah, we had a very, very new group. You know, in Chile, we only had 2 caps going into the actual tournament, so we went through the pools, we didn't concede a goal. Obviously, the pool's not as tough as they are here. And then Chile gave us a really good battle in the semi-final. They played man-to-man in the midfield. It's something we hadn't experienced much, so that was something we challenged. We overcome with a good shootout win. And then against Argentina, kind of very similar to today, we just didn't start well. You know, and it's easy to say it's youth. It's something we have to learn from.
How many players you have this year, 16-year-olds or 17, 18?
We've got two that have just turned 17. So 2 16-year-olds. From this group, I only lose 3 at the end of this World Cup. So we lose 3. So 15 are U20. Are U20. Of that, 13 are U19.
Right.
So, you know, this is a great experience for us. It's something we're going to have to learn from. But, you know, the aim, we've got a Junior Pan Ams again in July next year. So most of this group will stick together for that. We're going to do our best here and learn. That's the important thing, learn and get better. Compete in the remaining games and then take the experience to Chile, to our home tournament. And then really make sure we give Chile, we give Argentina a much better battle.
Championship.
Yep.
What do you all did? Did you all have any other tournament?
No, we just centralized domestically in Vancouver.
Oh.
So, you know, Canada geographically is a very big country. So we're not a full-time program. We don't have the team together the whole time.
Okay.
We had a selection camp to see, because we knew some players were not available. So we had a selection camp in the summer. And then 3 weeks prior to coming out, we kind of paired up with our men's national team and played some training games against the national team. So we centralized for 2 weeks. The weather was 3 to 8 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, so our actual last training match against the men's national team was cancelled because the field was frozen.
Yeah.
You know, and then to come from that into this heat, I think we've acclimatized, but again, we'll only know when it's very hot.
So mainly your base is in Vancouver.
Yeah, so we're based, both the men's and the junior program are based in Vancouver, but we've got athletes from Toronto, we've got athletes from Quebec. One of my athletes is based in the US, he's studying in America, so for the most part, I would say 70% of the program is in Vancouver, the others is spread out.
Yeah. Thank you. So your thoughts on the match?
Well, I think that it's a very good match for both teams. I think this match is with a lot of intensity. I think that the key of the match is the work without ball. I think that we are strong with pressure, and I think that we stole a lot of balls for the counter-attack. And well, I think that the most important thing in DPC, you have 2 goals, I think, today. So I'm very happy for this performance, and then relax. Yes, tomorrow, rest day for the second next against Korea, next day and against Korea.
Anybody else?
You beat India quite. It's a good match today. India has beaten Korea.
Yeah.
And how do you see that?
This match India against Korea.
Against Korea. Yeah.
Korea.
Do you see it's going to be easy or?
I think that India have a better team. I think they have very good players in the midfield, the striker, and I think that India have more options to win this match. But we'll see. This tournament is very difficult. The weather is not dangerous, but it's different. So we'll see. But I'm relaxed. We play against Korea. I think that India gets a win, and I think that they play the quarterfinals.
What makes it so easy for you to beat India today? I mean, you also beat them in the work in the 2000 in Bhubaneswar.
Not me.
But that was Spain.
Spain. Yeah, we lost. I think against India.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I don't know if maybe in quarterfinal lost or in groups. I don't remember because I'm not a coach. But I think that yes, India wins 2-1 in Bhubaneswar. Yes.
How important has Andre Rafias been for the team?
How important is
Andre Rafias.
Andreas?